A carpenter was building a house for his boss. He worked day in and day out, but as the house neared completion, he saw that his boss wasn't coming around to inspect the work as often as before. Curious, the carpenter went to his boss's office to ask him about it. "Why aren't you coming to see the house more often?" he asked. "It's almost finished." "I've given you the plans, and you know my requirements," his boss replied dismissively. "Just get it done as quickly as you can. I'm in no rush." The carpenter finished the house in record time, but he had taken his boss's words to heart. He had built the house according to the plans, but in the most slapdash manner possible. It looked as if a tornado had come through and destroyed it. Every corner was cut, every joint was weak, and the roof sagged in the middle. When his boss finally came to inspect the work, he was furious. "What happened here?" "This isn't what I wanted," the carpenter shrugged. "You said build it quickly, so I did." His boss paced the length of the destroyed house. "You may have built it quickly," he said finally, "but it's such a disaster that I'll have to tear it down and start over. And when I do, I won't be hiring you." The carpenter was stunned. He had worked tirelessly to complete the house as fast as he could, as his boss had requested, and this was his reward. Disappointed, he began to pack up his tools. As he walked past his boss's office, he saw a large sign hanging on the wall. It read, "Your work is your masterpiece." The carpenter thought about that for a moment. Then he stopped and turned to look at his boss's office window. His reflection stared back at him. He realized that his boss wasn't just talking about the houses they built, he was talking about their lives. The carpenter had been so focused on building his boss's house quickly that he hadn't been paying attention to his own life. He had become a master of his trade, but he had forgotten that his skills were his masterpiece. He had let his personal life fall apart because he was too busy working. He straightened his shoulders and walked out the door. He had a lot of work to do, not for his boss, but for himself. From that day forward, the carpenter approached his work with renewed energy. He took pride in his work and made sure that each project was his masterpiece. And while he never forgot the lesson he learned from his boss, he also never forgot the lesson he learned about himself. A carpenter had built his boss a shabby house because he had taken his words too literally. But he had built his own life in the same way, and that was a mistake. We all have to balance the needs of others with our own, and sometimes we have to say no to protect ourselves. The carpenter should have done that in this case. But he also should have remembered that his work is his masterpiece. We should all strive to do our best work, not just for others, but for ourselves. This story teaches us that our life's work is our masterpiece. We need to take pride in our work and make sure that we do our best. It doesn't matter how busy we are or how much pressure we're under. We should always remember to take care of ourselves and not let our personal lives fall apart. Now, this is a story that I often tell my children when they complain about doing their homework. I tell them that they're rebuilding their own life and that they should take pride in their work. They might not think it's important now, but one day they will. So the next time you're tempted to cut corners or do a bad job, remember the story of the carpenter and make sure that your work is your masterpiece.